let's play the Caro-kann, because one of the other big subs in the channel also likes. John is 1900. Yes, John Davis is a very serious chess player in Amarillo, Texas. Let's play bishop g6. I'll play the other line. I'll play e6 this game. Thank you, Mensa, for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much to Mensa for the 10 gifted subs. Let's go knight d7 here. I guess I will take and play queen a5 or knight f6. Let's play queen f5. Amarillo or Amarillo? It's Amarillo, isn't it? I've never heard it pronounced Amarillo. Maybe originally it was, but never heard it pronounced that way. Let's just castle. I don't know if castle is right. I can play bishop d6 and castle short. I've never heard it pronounced Amarillo. Maybe it is originally, but that's like saying, you know, it's like nobody goes and says, and here we are in the city of angels, also known as Los Angeles. Of course, everyone says Los Angeles. Thank you, Nicholas Stoshan, for the 1,000 bits. Thank you so much. Thank you. But it's like, I mean, nobody says Los Angeles. Everyone says Los Angeles, of course. Even though, of course, technically it is Los Angeles. Let's take with the queen. I think he had bishop a5, maybe. Bishop a5 and c5 actually might have been quite strong. a4 played. Okay, now we're just going to go all in. Let's go for g5. Let's try to attack here. I've got a great knight on f4. Yeah, but I did, J Clones, I did get to 3,000 in the speed run last night. I stuck it out. I got there. I think it took me about 16 hours roughly. Okay, I've got to be careful here. Queen e3, idea d5. Let's see. I guess I'll just play g5. I'm going to get a little bit bold here. He's maybe got d5 or knight e5, but we'll see what he wants to do. It goes a5, so I'll play a6 here. Fix the pawns. Okay, rook a4 played. Just go rook h8, get out of d5. How many losses? I believe it was 6 draws and 8 losses. I lost, I think, I lost the game very early on in the stream, and then I think I lost 3 or 4 to Oleg Bortnik, because at the end you're obviously playing very strong chess players. K Brown says even with the +2 instead of +3 at the end. Jeez, thank you for the reminder. I was trying to forget about it, but yes, exactly. Thank you, Mokoled1986, for the 500 bits. Happy Father's Day, Hikaru, from all your adopted. Thank you so much, Mokoled. Actually, it is Father's Day. My stepfather, unfortunately, is not here in Florida with me. He's playing a tournament in Las Vegas with Levy Rosman and all the other chess people who seem to love playing chess over important holidays rather than being with their families. But nonetheless, it is, of course, Father's Day, so definitely wishing my father a happy Father's Day. Let's play e5 here, hit the bishop. What is the rating of my stepfather? My stepfather is a famous chess coach. He is a FIDE master. His FIDE is way down. My stepfather is 68 years old, so I don't even know why he tries to play competitively, because he's obviously not where he was like 25 years ago. I think his peak FIDE was around like maybe 2330 or 2340. Very strong coach. He's written quite a few books. There definitely are a lot of people in chat who have taken lessons from him, or at least have read his books. I will actually, you know what? I'll link you guys to both of his books, because they're both very good books. Highly recommended. Or actually, is it out of print? No, here it is. It's not out of print. Here it is. Okay, so I'll link to both. So there's the first one. That's the first one. And the second one is actually the history one, which is why I actually know some stuff about some of these ancient people and what they were doing in the 1700s and 1800s. It's just 2 links. Both books are extremely good, by the way. Highly recommended. Learned a lot about chess in the 1700s and 1800s from looking through the book. I highly recommend Great Moves, because it's sort of a mix. It's like history, but it's history, but it's not too serious on the chess. Now John is playing really well here. I have to be careful. Let's see, what do I want to do here? Actually, I guess I'll just play e4 maybe. Try to win the knight on f3. Okay, the problem with this is that now I throw in a check and I've got queen c6. I hit the rook, I hit the bishop, and I hit the pawn as well. If queen e8, I just go king d7. I support the rook, so he plays g3. Knight g3 maybe is winning. I don't know for sure if it is, so I'm just gonna be safe here and just run my king in, because look at this queen. This queen has no access. It's completely dominated here. So yeah. Anyway, my stepfather, yeah, his peak was like 2340. Obviously, he's quite old now. He's 68 years old, and chess has changed a lot. Thank you, Give Me Shelter, for the 3-month resub. Thank you. So he resigns. Okay, so we'll give him one more. Give John one more game. Why not FG2 first? That was also fine too. Let's play knight f3 here. Let's play an open Sicilian. Try to give John something to learn from. Actually, you know what? I realized, yeah, the second game. Okay, I forgot. I gave him a second game. So we'll play somebody else after this one. Sorry about that. Let's go queen d2 and g4. I guess I'll play g4, g5 maybe as an idea here. But yeah, my stepfather's like 2340, but again, that was like 1978, 1980-ish. And thank you, Mad Zisson TSM, for the 2-month resub. The queue is short right now. Yes, right now the queue is not super long. But of course, chess has changed a lot too. So like, RMG DOS says I lost Hikaru's stepdad. Yes, Jason, you got smashed in a King's Indian because you're like Victor Korchnoi or something. You think that White's always winning in the King's Indian in the Mar del Plata. Please, Jason. Please. Play like a man. I remember that tournament. I think I actually played Jason in that tournament, but I think he squeaked by with a draw against me. He played this garbage accelerated dragon, and he snuck out with a draw against me, I think. Although, as I recall, I think we played the same. There was a game right next to us on the board next to us. It was Albert Chow against maybe it was Jesse Cry against Albert Chow. I forget who exactly it was, but they played like the exact same opening, but somebody was down a tempo. If Jason still remembers that, I'm not sure he does, but I do. Let's play a3. Do you remember that, Jason? Because we played an accelerated dragon in that same tournament, didn't we? And on the board next to us, it was the same line. It was this knight d6, knight d4 in the Maroxy with bishop g7. But I think I played like bishop g5 and queen e3. And I think Albert Chow, like, he did like queen d2 and queen e3. Or he did something weird. But I'm not insane, right? I'm not insane, right? It was not the exact same. Albert Chow wasted tempo. He played the position down a tempo. But it was the same position. Let's play queen c3. Of course, why do I even remember that? That was that game against the game and tournament that I'm talking about with RMG DOS, who is of course Jason DOS. That was a game that we played in, I want to say, like 2002. It was a Chicago Open in 2002, I think. Let's play queen e3. Jason can correct. Jason probably can pull up the game and see the year better than I can. But I think it was 2002 if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 2002 Chicago Open, and it was still at the I forget that it was at that old hotel. I forget which one. It wasn't before it moved to Oakbrook. Thank you, Snorting Milk, for the 2-month resub. Thank you. Let's throw on check and Rook C1. But yeah, I'm sure RMG DOS is literally looking it up. Oh, he copied me, but I thought he was down a tempo. Maybe it was the same. Maybe it was exactly the same. I thought somebody was down a tempo in that game. But at any rate, it was, I don't know why I remember that, but I do remember that. That's, welcome to the world of chess, where we remember things from 9 million years ago. I believe that was 2002, though, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been earlier than that, but I think it was 2002, because I would have been about 15. That sounds about right. But yeah, I played Jason in that tournament. He got lucky and snuck off with a draw, but he lost to my stepfather in a King's Indian. So yeah. Okay, h6 play. Let's play rook c8. Trade the rooks. Let's be simple. Let's just get queens off the board, and then just run this b pawn all the way up. Was it a Monday? Foggy day? It was not a Monday. Chess tournaments are always held over weekends. Almost always over holidays, actually, as well. So no, it was I can't remember the round, unfortunately. It was not super late in the event. It was not super early. It was not a night round. It was a morning round. I remember that. It was an afternoon round. It was an afternoon round, which means it had to be an odd number round, which means I'm going to say it was round 3 of the Chicago Open. I think it was round 3 of the Chicago Open. Let's play b6. I gave him knight c5, actually. I should just play b4 first, but it's all winning. I'm going to say it was round 3 of the Chicago Open in 2002. I could be wrong on the year, but I think it was 2002. That's my best guess. That is my final answer. Anybody can look it up and see if I'm right or I'm wrong. But it was definitely not an evening round. I remember it was the morning round, so it was the afternoon round. So John resigns. So let's just this game is not very good, but I will pull up the first game that I played against John, because the first game was a lot better. So in the first game, we'll look at this very briefly, just a little bit of analysis. I was an IM at the time. Yeah, I think it was 2002. It was 2001 or 2002. So okay, pretty normal opening. Very standard, just trade bishop f4, try to castle on. Queen a5, obviously I want white to go c3 and keep an eye so you can't castle here. Oh, wait, whoops. Sorry, my bad. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. Apparently I did something wrong. 1 second. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Alright, so bishop d2, queen c7. Was it 2002? Jason can tell me. Was it 2002? Was it 2002 that we played? Knight f6, c4, castles. So obviously black plays for bishop d6. I like bishop c3. Knight e4 is fine. Maybe not best, although there is a little tactic in here. So what John missed is that in this position after knight h5, there's this move bishop a5. So it's a weird looking move. It hits the queen and the rook. If I go knight b6 here, there's just c5, winning the bishop or the knight because of the pin. If I play queen takes a5, there's knight takes d6 check, and when I move the king, there's knight takes f7, hitting both rooks, and white is winning. So I have to play b6, and then after c5, I don't know what's going on here. Or actually, maybe even, no, probably c5 is right. Maybe I have knight takes c5, because if takes, there's bishop h2, and I win the queen. And after knight takes maybe queen a6, because if I play queen b7, trade takes knight e5, this is very messy, because again the same tactic is rearing its ugly head on f7, so I can't push the pawn if I defend. White can maybe play rook d1 or even knight c4 hitting the pawn. If I go like king a6, just knight d6, and this knight on d6 is really strong, supported by the pawn. White can play like b4 and a4 or a3 and b4, and it should be better for white. So this would have been very interesting. I don't know if objectively it's all that good, but it's a very interesting concept. So knight e4, it's either like just hanging a pawn or it's a great move. I don't know which one. But after knight d6, I took a4, knight f4, queen 3, g5. Now here John played a5, which is probably not the best move. I think d5 is very messy, because first of all it opens up this diagonal, but secondly it opens up this diagonal as well. So the rook on h8 is hanging, as well as the pawn on a7 hanging. So like if I take here, white takes, I take back, and there's queen a7, and maybe it's still okay for black, because maybe I have some like g4 and h5, queen f6 ideas, but it's definitely a game and very messy. So this would have been much better after a5, a6. Now d5 is still playable, but once I take without the a pawn, whoops, not rook g8, of course, without the a pawn hanging on a7, even after takes knight d5, black is a knight and 2 pawns for the rook. And white's gonna have trouble getting an attack here on the queen side, because I've got a nice structure. So this would not have been as effective. So he played rook a4, rook e8, bishop b4, queen c7. I don't really like a4. I think at this point white has to go allez and go all in and play b4 and b5 with like rook b1. Because rook a4, you're not really going rook b4. Bishop b4 doesn't do much, because after queen c7, there's nothing on this diagonal to play for, and I'm just gonna stick to my plan of playing e5. Bishop c3, c5. RMG DOS says round 6 in 2002. Oh, it was an evening round. Was it an evening round, or do they start? I thought they started with a morning round. Ah, no, I'm wrong. Of course, no, it's round 6, because they start, it's one round in the evening, and then the second round is, the first day it's one round a day, and then it's 2 rounds for the rest of the days, right, Jason? Or am I wrong? Anyway, okay, so bishop c3, c5 was played. b4 was played here. Now I take and play e5, bishop b2, trying to activate queen a7, b5. Important to keep the bishop on the diagonal. Bishop b6, for example, doesn't really do a whole lot, because I can just take. Maybe I can take c4. I can probably just play queen d6, c5, queen d3 as well, and there isn't really any attack here on the queen side. So bishop b2, knight f6, b5, rook d3, queen a7, e4, e4 hitting the knight. Now he takes on f6, because here if you try to like move the knight to, I don't know, like d4, there are always going to be issues with knight g4, knight d2, and queen h2 checkmate coming. So this diagonal is going to be a big problem for white long term. So bishop f6 is probably right. ef3, b6, knight e2, king h1, queen c6. Now someone asked me in the chat, why didn't I take on g2? I didn't take on... Oh, I've got a checkmate here. Oh, I didn't see the checkmate. I only saw takes queen c6, f3, and after queen a4, queen a8, king d7, queen b7, king e6 is winning. But I didn't want this. But now that I look at the position, I realize there's actually a checkmate with rook g3 that I completely didn't see. If white takes, you go queen g3, king h1, queen h3 checkmate. And if you go king h2 here, there probably are multiple ways to mate. Or are there actually? Actually, there. Oh no, maybe I'm a genius. Maybe my inadvertent missed mate actually was correct, because here I don't have a check with the rooks. I hang the queen. So no, I'm actually a genius for not seeing rook g3. Because if I had seen it, I probably would have played this. Then after king h2, I would have been just lost, because I can't go like rook g4 because white just takes the queen. So I have no good discovery with the rook. Rook h3, white just takes. Do I have like rook e3 and I can do the same thing and lose my other rook again? Yeah. Yeah, someone says rook g1, but you're wrong, because rook g1 check, white just takes the queen. The queen hangs on c7. That's the problem. The queen is hanging, you guys. The queen is hanging. Oh shoot, I just accidentally reset it. Lovely. I'm an idiot. Oh shoot. Okay, so I was saying is, yeah, so if I take rook g3, king h2, if rook g1, white just takes the queen. So like I can't do that. Rook g2, white just takes the rook, and I'm down a rook again. Like I can go knight f4, but then king h1, queen c6, just f3. And again, I can take, but there's queen a8, and white wins the pawn. So it's not good. All right. Okay, so queen c6, g3, king d7. Now look at this position. Look at this queen here. It's just got no scope. It's completely stuck here. The queen guards the b7 pawn, and my rook on e8 just stops the queen from ever infiltrating. So the queen on a7, white's just playing the position down a queen. So it's just completely winning. So probably bishop a5 was the one try. I would have probably not suggested. Yeah, I probably would have suggested if you're going to play this. This was the one try was bishop a5. Or if you're going to play like this, just go all in, just a4 and b4. a4 was fine too, but then just d5 or b4 and b5. You don't really have time for these a5 or a4 ideas. So